So, did you all see a note about recording? Okay, awesome. So I'd like to first share a couple of names here in the chat for you. And then I can also get Devon's later. I don't believe she was able to make it, but okay, so I'll go ahead and share my screen because the first one I would like to kick off with is Devon. Okay. Let's see. Can everybody see that? Okay. Can you see the video? Okay, awesome. I'm not super Zoom savvy. So I'm going to go ahead and play Devon's mentor introduction since she was not able to make it this evening.
Hi, everyone. My name is Devin Ortiz Hoffman. My pronouns are she, her. I graduated from SLIM in December 2023 with a concentration in leadership and administration. While enrolled at Emporia State, I was actually employed as a library assistant at a public library in Denver, North Carolina, a small town just north of Charlotte. As such, I was a children's librarian, so I spearheaded story time and all programs for preschool age children, as well as just general circulation and reference desk task and duties. I've weeded, I've shelf read, I've done all the standard housekeeping at the library as well. But during my last semester, I actually decided to quit that job and meet with and shadow some academic librarians in and around the Charlotte, North Carolina area. My prior work experience is in curriculum development and facilitation, and I thought that those skills would be more often used and better suited for an academic setting, as well as those being a passion of mine and something I'm very much interested in pursuing in my career. That also helped make that decision for me. So in July of this year, I actually began as the librarian at Mitchell Community College in Mooresville, North Carolina. So just like a short ditch effort across the lake to get to work. And here I am conducting literacy instruction related to research strategies, plagiarism and citation tools, mis and disinformation. And then I also maintain all of our online research guides, our video tutorials, forms, surveys, anything like that associated with our learning and our course instruction. And then I also am responsible for collecting and compiling all of our title counts and usage statistics for all of our e-resources so that we can then report those numbers to the ACRL and IPEDS annually. One of my biggest strengths I think I can bring to this mentoring experience is my ability to be an effective communicator. I will always provide you with a non-judgmental ear and provide you honest and open feedback to your questions. If ever I don't know anything, I am more than willing to say I don't know and also help you dig and research and find the answers you're looking for. I hope that in this experience that I can not only give you a little bit of insight into the profession, but give you the support you need in your decision-making process, whether that's course selection, interview prep, professional development, day-to-day advice on life in the library. I want to be that support system for you. So I look forward to meeting with and speaking with all of you very soon. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, so yeah, so that's Devin, and so I'd like to have so we'll have Jordan, and then Julie, and then Larry, and then all the two names that I shared as well. Those are also a couple of mentors. Their names are in the chat. Who they plan to record a video as well, but I'll share that out via email so you can get that later. So Jordan, if you don't mind, just sharing a little bit, about your interests and kind of what you're doing now so they can get to know you.
Okay, I'm Jordan Fashing. I graduated in August of 2023, so a semester before Devin did. I actually was new Devin. We were in SCALA together. I have been in the libraries for about 10 years in some capacity, whether volunteering, shadowing, interning, or working. During SLIM, I was working part-time in a school public library situation. It was split down the middle, and I worked in the evenings. I've only really been in the public library ward. When I graduated from SLIM, I worked about 9 months as a children's librarian, and then now I'm in North Platte, Nebraska, a North Platte Public Library as a young adult librarian, which I have found I appreciate that age group a lot more. I work with 9 to 18-year-olds now. I do tween time with the children's librarian, and I do Teens Explore with myself. I really have enjoyed collection work. When I worked as a children's librarian, I was mainly the collection work. I did most of the whole entire collection, and so I've always enjoyed that. And I've done a lot of programming. That was what I was aiming for when I was looking for a job. I wanted more programming experience because my interning and shadowing experiences was during COVID. So I didn't get to do a lot out in the programming, so I have a little bit lacking in the programming, but I've done a lot of collection development and advocacy work, and that's about it. I was in Wayne, Nebraska. I went to Omaha, and now I am in North Platte, but I did not work in Omaha. I worked in a really tiny libraries. I've worked in a lot of small communities. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And alumni, if you don't mind sharing your email in the chat, I think that would be a helpful way for everyone to get that information. So thank you, Jordan. Julie, if you'd like to go and share.
Hi, I'm Julie Mills. My pronouns are she, her. I'm currently the director of the Park City Public Library in Park City, Kansas. Pretty small library. Fairly new to being a director. I graduated from SLIM in May of 2021, and I kind of got my start when I lived in Oklahoma City. I volunteered at the Ralph Ellison Library, and I became friends with the librarian there. And she was like, Julie, you should go get your master's and become a librarian. You'll know the library from the ground up. And she meant that, like literally crawling around on the ground, shelving books off and on for the last like 10 years. So I started my MLIS at OU, and then I moved back to Kansas. My family is here. And I really, really love the Emporia program because I was older and not young. This is like my second, third career, and I like the in-person weekends. And then smack dab in the middle of the wonderful in-person weekends came COVID. And I was part. I think maybe it might have been Jordan that said, like, we had the long Zoom weekends, so um, that wasn't the best part of it. But I love Emporia State. My goal was to jump right into management. I did not do the leadership focus because I had enough transfer credits from OU and stuff that I didn't get the management track for Emporia State. But I had a lot of office experience, and I thought, oh, I'll be a branch manager or library director. So I just want to say, not in a negative way, that if you do consider being a director, basically there's not much library work about it at all. So I've fixed toilets, I've mopped floors, and honestly, it's a lot of budget, it's a lot of politics and policies. I've gone in front of city council to reverse ordinances, charter ordinances. I know things about budget and mill levies that I never ever dreamed that I would know. So that's just kind of a brief touch on that. I guess what led me to administration was just I didn't think I'd make a really great children's librarian. I was too old to be like a youth librarian. So I just thought I'll just jump right into leadership. And I've learned a lot. It's been a wonderful experience. And probably the best preparation was being a single mom for the last 10 years. You learn how to do a lot with a little. I get to spend the library's money ordering books and furniture. and I get to hear all my librarians with their wonderful children's ideas, and they decorate, the library and stuff like that. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Thank you. Larry, go ahead.
Hello there. Larry Handy. I am from Los Angeles, California. Earlier, you guys were talking about the buildings and uh, in your city as well. We have a policy in LA where our buildings cannot be taller than the smog. So, yeah. Um, but I have been to Topeka. I visited. Okay, I graduated. I walked December of 2023, Slim. So I actually flew out to Emporia. And about 3 months prior to that, in August of 2023, I did a little tour of Kansas. So Emporia, Topeka, saw the Presidential Library, um, up in oh my gosh, forget the city. Uh, Texas has the same name. And then yeah, anyway, so it's great. So I've been working in libraries for 27 years. I'm 47, and 27 of my years of my life has been in libraries. Particularly the library that I'm in right now. I'm actually at work right now in my little office. Um, I work in an academic library, uh, university, and I already have a master's in creative writing. So the whole idea for being in libraries for me was I just needed a day job because I'm an artist, I'm a writer, do music. So libraries was a safe day job. I could work in education without having to grade papers. Um, I only decided to pursue my master's in library science because I found myself doing all this librarian jobs from from reference to resource sharing to collection development to instruction, to name it, to cleaning toilets, to advising, to archive work, to cataloging, and I'm still getting treated and labeled as a library support staff, because they didn't have the MLS and they didn't honor my MFA. All right. So I was like, all right, let me do this SLIM program. So SLIM was very grateful for me, grateful to me for being able. It was helpful to me because I was able to work full time, and then get my second master's. Um, what I love about my job is I get to supervise students. I've supervised all kind of students from around the world. We used to have a high international enrollment, and it was great. Um, so let's see. Uh, nothing new has really changed for me in this current job since my MLS, uh, because of the whole politics of the academic library that I'm at. However, right next door is the JC, the junior college, and they nabbed me up. So I'm doing part-time reference work there at night. So like I'm a faculty there, adjunct faculty, I'm a librarian. Here I'm still support staff, even though I got MLS. So there is a library director position now open. I was thinking about applying for it, but after hearing Julie's testimony, I'm like, I don't know. um as an advisor, I would probably as a mentor, I should say, I guess my strengths would be experience. I can tell you how the library world is, at least from an academic perspective. I will say this. Now, the JC that I'm working at, um, it's like a hybrid. Like it's basically public library and academic because the academic that I'm at, everybody's here to get their bachelor's or PhDs or masters. But JC, I mean, we're getting patrons who are like second chance. So some of them have been incarcerated, got out, they want to get a degree. Some of them have never are like elderly and coming back for a degree. Um, and it's my reference questions over there, just basic stuff like how to cut on my computer, how to use Microsoft Word. There's a real need. So if you want that hybrid of like, and we even have an on-duty social worker there needed. So JC is a different beast than it is, private universities. So, so I got my foot in both worlds. Um, yeah, and then just I'm a real advocate on treating library support staff with the respect of being a librarian because I've been at the bottom, still haven't gotten my flowers where I work, you know, because the support staff are the ones that are running the libraries, you know. They don't have the option to work virtual like a lot of our librarians do here. With the roll your sleeve up type of librarians, the trenches. So if I do get that library director job, I'm gonna be like really pushing for um those like the little guy, the little gal, you know, to get their respect. I always say the ARC, acknowledgement, respect, and compensation, ARC. So that's that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And like I said, with Candace and Sammy, I will go ahead and share their individual videos out later.
Greetings, greetings. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for this space and opportunity to share my expertise and my professional growth and development in librarianship. I'm honored. I'm so honored. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to Emporia State University for choosing, for reaching out to me and reaching out to all of us in general to share our experience. It was a different experience going through the cohort virtually. It was a different experience going through it during a pandemic, but we made it. It was a challenge and we made it, and it made the journey all worth and while. In 2020, I was presented a letter from my manager in regards to the SLIM program at Emporia State University by way of Conway, and I meditated hard on it. And I decided to go ahead and do it and pursue it. And it was a challenge. And I learned so much. I gained so much insight about myself, about libraries, the history of libraries, the transformation of libraries. And it has been a remarkable and miraculous change and journey. And I'm just grateful to be here with you today. Stingers up. I am Candace Latrice Owens. I am currently a library clerk, also known as a library paraprofessional or library support staff for the Central Arkansas Library System, in which I mainly work at the Deep Brown Branch Library. I have novice to intermediate to expert level workwomanship in public libraries and archives. I have maintained my position for 5 years now, as of May, with exceptional performance evaluations. Um, by the mere fact that I do all things with purpose, but I definitely take the position of library clerk to another level in my mind, in my heart, providing a space and making sure that the two P's are in order: preservation and presentation. Caring for an item, making sure that that item is maintained properly. If it needs a barcode, pulling it. If it's in house, and I'm pulling it to the back, and I'm tallying up my in house, doing my DQL, and I'm noticing that it's a little dirty. Taking the time, setting that book aside, or going ahead and wiping it down, making sure that the next time I put a whole sticker on it, or when I put a whole sticker on it, that person is reading something almost if it's brand new, it's fresh out the pack. Just remembering the small things, being mindful of your position in all ways, in all facets, making sure our community resource table is up to date, making sure, and of course, our adult programmer does that as well. And our front desk is presentable as well. It has information that is relevant either for today or within the week, so that it can be right there and presented to the public in the community on demand. And then those community resources that are um, for a lifetime or organization based or things of that nature is up to date We don't have anything from 2017 on there when it's 2024. We don't have information on our resource communities section or in our resource community section in relation to an organization that no longer operates. So being able to go through those pamphlets and go through those things on the community resource periodically and say, oh no, and look up the things that are there. Oh, we don't have that resource is not available. Or they changed the age limit for that. Just being a little bit more mindful of what's in your library, what's in your collection, what's on your shelves, what is truly being able, what is available to offer your patrons in your community. That is taking library clerk to another level. As a manager or a programmer, you're in the library, but you're not in the shelves. You're not in the trenches at always sometimes. And so the library clerk has that optimum position to truly be a connection between the patrons and the collection or the patrons in a program. And so I take that very seriously. Presentation is everything. And I think even with, like I said, preservation, it allows me to intertwine my archival practice with library practice, because in curating, you choose something carefully, you thoroughly organize it and present it like as in an exhibit. So it allows me to remember those archival practices even on a very small scale and a large scale. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. Holds, I love doing holds. Like I said, I love shelf reading. I love providing a fresh book to someone, not all cruddy up and pages missing, but truly providing a reading experience for someone, or a auditorial experience, or a playbook experience, or just really being able to impact a patron in every way is the goal when it comes to library clerk to me. Presentation, being able to survey a environment quickly and notice something out of place, being able to put it into place. If your headphones are normally on um, your computer monitors, making sure they're there, making sure that you have scrap paper and pens in the centerpiece of our things. We have rules of conduct on each one of our tables, so making sure those are legible, making sure they haven't come off the table. Our makerspace program have provided recycle small recycle bins, so making sure that they're available on the tables. And our furniture is moved. Just really being aware and mindful, truly mindful of your space and your collection and what you have to offer and what's truly available to your community and your patrons. I think is the utmost duty and responsibility of a library clerk on another level. And then also being able to shelve within a certain amount of time. So if you're bringing back things and you're sorting them as you go, making sure that you're aware of what's on your cart and what's not out on the thing, because we can't cart shell every day. We do have we are on the desk. We do provide a reference. We do provide reference interviews, making sure that we send them to the right admin, or we send them to the right position or the right guide. We have digital literacy guides. So when we're not able to provide a complete service at that complete time, we know how to survey what our interview and come up with what they're really wanting to do and direct them and guide them to the right source and the right resource. So that is definitely something, reference interviews, that I enjoy, and something that we can actually take time as a library clerk, not having the overhead and the overwhelming administration positions and operations to care for on a daily basis. I think that is all. I know that I have so much more to offer, as well as you. I look forward to learning from you. I look forward to sitting at your feet, as well as standing on your shoulders and truly guiding you and hopefully guiding me, and us learning together as one. I'm inspired by my ancestors every day. Libraries have changed over time, and this is a time for us to truly, truly provide encouraging and enlightening information and resources for our people. And I hope that we can do it together and encouraging each other constantly. So thank you again for this time and opportunity. Thank you again for this space. Reach out to me at any time and at any medium, CLOWENS at cals.org. That's CLOWES at CALS.org. I am Candace L. Owens at gmail.com, 501-690-6206. You can reach me, you all. You can reach me. Again, check that blog out, Mindful in LIS. Check those tokens out, and just be more mindful in your positions. Be more mindful of the people that we serve. Remember, they are humans. Remember, they deserve equity. They deserve fairness. They deserve a respectful interaction and impactful experience with librarians. Thank you so much. Peace.